I'm over here thinking, I'm talking to y'all. See, that's what it is. See, I see her talking about the glasses. See, I just came back. Me, Far, and Elijah, we was out on a little mission. These my flight glasses right here. Just dropped me off on the baby plane. Years ago. So yeah, we got the people in here. Now I was born. Smell Goods, Malik Lowe, God's favorite, Atif, got Wise You. Yeah. That's what we doing. We in the pocket today. You know what I'm saying? Just showing y'all, look, make sure you have something like this, because don't forget, if you haven't been doing what you're supposed to do, and you're not sure you're gonna make it into the hereafter, get the cash out, and I'll talk to Far and Elijah. I'll make sure you get on. Look, make sure you have some of these. It's windy out there. So, other than that, are you down on the deuce? I'm actually about to come out. After I finish this, I was coming down around the deuce. You got there, Far and Elijah, we build on that type of signs. You feel energized. But is everybody ready? Is everybody ready for 2022, the prequel? You see, it was like, in January 2019, we didn't even know it was going to be a movie. Then around this time in 2019, we saw the commercial. A little commercial came out. Yo, it's going to be a movie. And then we had 2020, the movie. You had the lockdowns, the protests. Then we had, police killings, etc. Then we had 2021, the sequel. And now we had 2022, the prequel. And if you notice, a lot of things that, like for instance, today, the news came out that Trump was lying about something way back in the beginning of this in 2019, early 2020. Ski trip. You see, Ron, what's wrong with you, man? Yeah, you categorize. I just told these people that just came back. I had to do a quick mission with Far and Elijah. These are the flights right here. So, you're not drinking alkaline water or something like that. But yeah, now they're going back to the beginning. Just like for instance, all those different, well, not all those different, but the Ahmaud Arbery case, we're going back to, some of the stuff that first started happening in this movie series, and getting some background on that. Felix Almanzar. Today's topic is 2022, the prequel. The last 2 years have been like a movie. That's why ain't no good movies coming out in Hollywood. They're making all this stuff up right here that we live in. Oh yeah, what's that? We're gonna get into some articles. I got a couple of articles. Yeah, BC Rhyme sent me. Oh man, yeah, that was a crazy one. With the mayor of St. Louis. I don't know what's going on with y'all out there in St. Louis. So yeah, this was an interesting story right here that Knowledge Born sent me. It says here, CNN is reporting that the defense attorney in the Ahmaud Arbery trial stated that we don't want any more Black pastors coming in here. So apparently, it says here, a defense attorney for one of the three white men charged in Black jogger Ahmaud Arbery's killing objected this week to nationally recognized civil rights leaders attending the trial to support the victim's family. If we're going to start a precedent starting today, where we're going to bring high-profile members of the African-American community into the courtroom to sit with the family during the trial in the presence of the jury, I believe that's intimidating, and it's an attempt to pressure, could be consciously or unconsciously, an attempt to pressure or influence the jury, attorney Kevin Goff said Thursday in court in Brunswick, Georgia. No. Because that means Al Sharpton is it's not welcome. But you know, mm, it is, for me, it's a little bit what's the word? Uh hmm, you to me, right? You kind of seeing how I guess the code works. Like just the different things that's coming out about these trials. Like even like with the Kyle Rittenhouse thing, right? That's like white on white crime. I'm not that concerned. You know what I'm saying? Like to the point where like, a lot of times, you know, we complain that there's no reporting about things that happen. Is this you say? 1 of 40. The Prequel said is the first degree renewing history over time and space. Hmm. What I don't understand the question is it renewing history over time and space? I mean, 25,000 years is time and 24,896 miles of space. Is that what you mean? Sometimes I fly. Sometimes I fly the ship, but really, I like to relax. I like to relax when I'm up there. You know what I mean? Let far do its thing. He just came back when I was on a little mission with Far and Elijah. These right here these are the flights. Got the flights on. But like I said, with the Kyle Rittenhouse thing, I'm not really that concerned with it because it's white on white crime. Like I don't know what it is. I just can't get into it. It's, you know. Yeah, you're right, Malik Lowe. It doesn't surprise me, you know, but it is something to observe. You know, how like even, you know, like when they say Kyle Rittenhouse, you know, as a kid, yeah, Rabon, I just came back. I was on a mission, me, Far, and Elijah we had to take the mothership out for a spin. We didn't go too far, just like Alpha Centauri and back. You know, but the thing with the Kyle Rittenhouse thing that had me, you know, that does, it is just the contrast, right, of how justice is occurring for him, right, as opposed to, you know, just how I've seen the wheels of justice turn, you know, of course, for us, because that's what I've seen it turn for. You know what I mean? We like even the way he's being described, you know, this poor little kid, you know, he was just trying to protect himself. You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, you know me. This nigga got him in the streets. Little kid. I mean, I get it. He's a little kid, but I mean, look, there's dudes my age. There's brothers my age. There's brothers older than me. There's brothers younger than me, right? That's sitting in jail right now because of things that they did when they was 14, 15, 16 years old, 17. So this whole, you know, listen, all of that makes a difference on how you get charged. Like they already got provisions for that. You get charged as a juvenile. No, you get charged as a juvenile offender, a youthful offender, or just a regular adult. In fact, you don't get charged, you get charged as a juvenile offender or adult. And then once you get locked up, you go into the youthful section or the adult section, depending on where you at. But all that other shit you're talking about now, they already passed the law on that. That's the law. You over this age, this I don't hear all this poor little kid shit. I do think the prosecutor is throwing that case from the jump. You know, they put the wrong charges from the very beginning. That of course wasn't gonna. You say that they're trying to push mandated my job by January, no vaccine equals mask and weekly, no vaccination equals mask and weekly tests. Yeah, from what I'm hearing, you gotta request the PCR test. That's the one where you get to spit in the cup, and not the one where they dig in your nose. I ain't really sure how it works. Haven't had any tests yet. But what I've heard, is uh, uh, the apparently an appeals court put a stay on it. Has anyone heard about that? Great Innovation said I read an article today that cases are high in high vaccinated areas. Yeah, but did anybody see that story? You see, one back now, back in the so once you get acclimated back to the atmosphere, after coming back off the mothership, then the flight start forming up. That means I'm back 100%. It's like when people go diving, and they got to come up a certain kind of way. But it's very dangerous. That's how it is when you come off the mothership. But Malik Lowe, I still don't understand what you mean concerning the knowledge degree in holy time and space. I gotta see. We might have to make Kyle Rittenhouse. We might have to make Kyle Rittenhouse one of our memes here. We'll see what happens with that. Who pays for the test? Nah, that's the thing. Look, I heard this white guy saying it, and I was like, that's some high science right there. Where he said, they can't seem to get everybody a sandwich. You can't get people that starving a sandwich, but you seem to be able to get this vaccination for everybody. So that's just another, aspect of that. Who pays for it? And now they're saying, hold on, let me, So this is from the New York Times right here. Let's see. All right, so this should be coming up on your screen in a minute right here. This is this, from what I understand, like I said, the way they've been instituting this is a lot. Are y'all crazy? I'm not paying y'all to read this story. I guess we'll have to find another source. But like I said, apparently, a lot about the way they're doing this is they trying to use corporations in order to enforce the mandate, or kind of not even enforce it, but like institute it instead of actually passing laws, right? Like they should have to, which would have brought it quicker to a constitutional thing. Once you try to pass a law that says it. But this mandate was something that was going to affect employers in their bottom lines, right? And then so that would make them put pressure on workers, et cetera, et cetera. But right here, the appeals court is saying not so fast. This is up on everybody's screen now. Appeals court extends block on Biden's vaccine mandate. Appeals court extends block on Biden's vaccine mandate for employees. A 3-judge panel of U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit held that challengers were likely to succeed in their claim that the mandate was an unlawful overreach. The sound of that. I guess it's still a little bit crazy for the people that are sick of it. It says that the appeals court, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit held that challengers were likely to succeed in their claim that the mandate was an unlawful overreach. The federal appeals court has kept this block in place against the federal mandate that all large employers require their workers to get vaccinated against the coronavirus or submit to weekly testing starting in January, declaring that the rule grossly exceeds the authority of the occupational safety agency that issued it. In the 22, so yeah, that's how these are the way, the kind of mechanism that they was using was the OSHA. I guess, in order to get OSHA certifications and some of that nature, you probably was going to have to comply with certain vaccine requirements. In a 22-page ruling issued on Friday, a 3-judge panel on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit in New Orleans held that a group of challenges to the mandate issued by the Biden administration was likely to succeed in its claim that it was likely to succeed in its claim that it was an unlawful overreach and barred the government from moving forward with it. From economic uncertainty to workplace strife, the mere specter of the mandate has contributed to untold economic upheaval in recent months, Judge Kurt D. Engelhardt wrote. He added, of course, the principles at stake when it comes to the mandate are not reducible to dollars and cents. The public interest is also served by maintaining our constitutional structure and maintaining the liberty of individuals to make intensely personal decisions according to their own convictions, even or perhaps particularly when those decisions frustrate government officials. He was joined by Judges Edith H. Jones and Kyle Duncan. All three are Republican appointees. In a filing asking the Fifth Circuit to withdraw its status, with the Justice Department argued that requiring large employers to force their workers to get vaccinated or submit to weekly testing was well within the authority granted by Congress to the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, or OSHA, It also said blocking the mandate would have dire consequences. Keeping the mandate from coming into effect would likely cost dozens or even hundreds of lives per day, in addition to large numbers of hospitalizations, other serious health effects, and tremendous costs. The Justice Department said in its filing that is a confluence of harms of the highest order. The ruling by the panel of the Fifth Circuit is unlikely to be the final word. Some challenges to the mandate are in other circuits, and the cases will be consolidated before a randomly chosen one of those jurisdictions. The Supreme Court is expected to eventually decide the matter. So this is for any company with at least 100 employees. Well, so yeah, that was in the New York Post. It says it's updated at 10:50. It was updated at 10:50 tonight. So this is from an hour ago. Update on this reporting is from an hour ago. We said the vaccination is cheaper than the test. That's wild. Low as 25,000 is the time, and a year to every mile is measured. Circumference of the planet Earth is the place. And Supreme Understanding write a book for exceptions for not taking the vaccine for work. Yeah, right. He probably wrote that book before the movie. See, everything after the movie is different. It's like Jaws. People never felt the same about swimming in the ocean again. The people who was around at that time, it's probably now, generations of people that never saw that. But, if you was like me, in your formative years, you never catch me swimming way out there by the ropes. Like you said, 25,000 is the time, and a year to every mile is measured circumference of the planet. I mean, can you simplify that down? So, You see, sometimes that's what happens, man. You know, when you're looking for the understanding, right? The understanding should make the picture clearer. You know what I'm saying? You know, when you start breaking things down, it's supposed to be easier. It's supposed to become simpler. Supreme name write a book, he compiled a list of exemptions and other things related to it. I see what you say. God see. And did anybody notice that of all the things that's been going on, right? That at least that they announced, I don't know, you know, what's supposed to actually happen. But you know, the thing that turned out to get, you know, they announced a protest over. They announced a protest when Eric Adams, he's the mayor-elect here in New York City, and he announced that, you know, he's going to be taking steps to clean up the city. Apparently, Black Lives Matter announced now that they're going to have some protests. They're supposed to really be turning up. So, like I said, see, we going back to the beginning in 2022, you know, where how a lot of this started in the first place. You know, this is going to be the prequel. But, you know, I just find it odd that, you know, all the things that's been going on, you haven't really seen any protests. You know what I'm saying? Until this kind of political thing happens. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I'm kind of like the curious thing about that to me, right? Is you know, just how organic it is, right? And then by extension, how organic was how organic was all the protests in 2020. That Black Lives Matter don't like to clean. Well, when they say clean up the city, they mean like the crime. But you know, it does get a little bit tricky because he's saying that he's going to be bringing back the unit that did the stop and frisk. And so at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Listen, and I'm just talking about in terms of them doing their job. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you got a job to do in terms of them doing their job. They know who's doing what. They really don't need to be fucking with anybody. You know what I'm saying? But you know, if he comes in and really targets crime, you know, but here's the thing that does go with that. See, first of all, like I said, it's about how wide you're going to cast the net in attempting to clean up the crime. You understand what I'm saying? You can see if I come in the you know, any neighborhood, you know, if I come to your neighborhood in St. Louis and just wholesale lock up half the people there, you know, crime is gonna go down. But you know, 99% of the people that you lock up ain't gonna have nothing to do with crime. Because it's just a handful of people, you know, most of them for just a segment of their life that's really doing crime. You know what I'm saying? A long crime, well, these days, you know, but I'm saying, you know, most people is not, you know, doing crime 30, 40 years. You know, not, you know, high level, you know, this person is a menace to society. And, you know, there is people that do that, that go from the cradle to the grave doing crime. You know what I'm saying? But that's a handful of people in the whole of America. You know, 99% of the people of True Self seen the memberships there. We got, I didn't announce that. We got the memberships now for the channel. That's just a different way to support the channel right there. But you know, that's one thing. You know what I'm saying? How wide he cast the net, right, could be a problem, right? Another thing, another thing that goes along with cleaning up the city is there's a tremendous amount of homeless people, drug addicted people, and mentally ill people. You know what I'm saying? Just wrong. Like a lot of the stuff that you're hearing about is really done. You know what I'm saying? You know, and so there's, you know, there's some, you know, it can get complex how you deal with those people. You understand what I'm saying? In terms of like, you know, a lot of them, they don't want, you know, at this point to get help. But they dangers, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you can't be pushing people on the train tracks. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, New York is not a place where, you know, you can, you know, that would have a tremendous, you know, New York is about entertainment and tourism, et cetera, et cetera. So, you know, the city really gets to that level, you know, where, you know, people are afraid to come here because a lot of the other things, the kind of the art scene, you know, by art, I mean like, you know, hip hop in the beginning, you know, where, you know, New York City was where it's at. You had to come here to deal with it, you know what I mean? Punk rock, you know, and all that, those Blondie and all those rock bands that was, what's the name of that club that was down there, Atif, down there on the Bowery? They moved to the Vegas after a while. But there's a CBGBs. You know what I'm saying? All of those types of things, is you know, not really going like that. You said God Supreme and Pashin taught Red Bank. Like I said, it'd be a lot of people. A lot of people, but I mean that's so that's another issue right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if a person is you know, just mentally ill, right? Uh, you know, should they be locked up? You know, because, you know, like, you know, I'm saying, because like I'm saying, you know, you might put somebody on the tracks. You know, but you haven't done anything. You're just crazy. You know what I'm saying? And I guess that you do have to be somewhat concerned, right, about the fact that he was a career cop. So as a career cop, uh, you know, does that put you in a situation where, you know, if you got a hammer, then everything you see looks like a nail? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, because, you know, you spend a career doing that. So like the different things, like, you know, when it comes to, okay, we gotta control this crowd or we gotta, you know, do whatever, you know, is your training kicking in now? And also from what I've seen, you know, and also from something my grandmother used to say about politicians. She used to say that even if you get a good politician, right, they're only going to be good for one term. Because after they do, during the course of that one term, they're going to learn how to steal. So after that, there ain't going to be no, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Uh, you know, that might be a bit extreme, but what I have noticed, right, is that it's more so as a politician becomes as they move up the political ladder. And so now, you know, you start to become beholden to, you know, kind of these bigger interests that end up being, you know, corporate, you know, and the kind of, you know, interests of the people that you knew that politician of having, you know, once they get up to that higher level, you know, the loyalties is different because, you know, in order to get that campaign money, you know what I mean, in order to get that access to the right people that could propel your political career forward, you know, you gotta gain those loyalties. You know what I'm saying? You know, and at the end of the day, on the other side, you know, another thing that I noticed along with them moving up the ladder is even if they're in the same position, right? But as they start to be there for a longer and longer time, see them being there for a long time, the good thing is now you got you know, connections and relationships. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, see like Charles Rangel, you know, he was might have been 50 years. He was the congressman from New York, from Harlem. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, he had a lot of connections. where, you know, like, yeah, certain people, he can call them on the phone. And you don't have to tell his assistant to try to get in touch with their assistant and set up a meeting. So they call up George Bush. Yo, tell your son to chill, yo. That's what happens when you got that type of juice. But see, like I said, at the same time, you start to become, you know, your loyalties start to change. You know, your loyalties start to become towards these connections that you're making politically, right? That's also helping you maintain your position. You know what I'm saying? You know, just in the terms of, you know, look, you're gonna meet this dude over here, right? And, you know, he's the editor of this paper. So, you know, we're gonna go holler at him, you know what I'm saying? You know, have a few drinks, whatever. And now, boom, you know, bad stories about you is gonna be suppressed in that paper, right? And bad stories about your opponent is gonna be coming out. And now, you be holding to the paper if the paper decides, yo, look, I get rid of all these workers. Can't be paying them, not paying all the fund when doing none of that. So, you know, he does have a lot of red flags. And see, I never liked him. You know, like as he rose to fame, uh, as he rose to fame with his 100 blacks in law enforcement, you know, was kind of as, you know, I was outside. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, I just, you know, him as an individual, like, you know, clearly he's not my kind of people. You know, the other thing was I never agreed with that kind of mindset that in order to correct the system, you know what I'm saying, meaning the system here in America, you have to become a part of the system. And then you clean it up from the inside. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion of that, my analogy for that is that, listen, you cannot clean the toilet bowl from inside the toilet bowl. You're going to get shit on you too. That's how that works. You can't clean the toilet bowl from inside the toilet bowl. So I thought that was stupid. So he had his 100 blacks in law enforcement, and then he changed the name of it to 100 blacks in law enforcement who cared. And so I understood the sentiment that he was saying that, yeah, some of these niggas, man, y'all niggas is, you know, I'm trying to do something to, you know, help the community through this capacity. And, you know, some of y'all ain't down, man. Like, I just, you know, y'all content, you know, to whatever. If they tell you go in there, beat brothers down, as long as you can get checked, you don't care. So I can understand, you know, when he said that, just the way he was talking, and, you know, I was becoming, you know, older, wiser, more civilized. So I tried to like him. Like during that era, you know, I do the knobs what he was saying. I tried to like him. But it's just, it was just one of those things. It was one of those things. Y'all seen me there before. Yeah, I tried to like them off. And then, to me, he showed his true colors. When all of a sudden now, when he first started running for office, right? Now that you're running for office to be a politician, he comes out and starts talking about all these orders that they was giving them. Like when they do the morning roll call, start talking about all this negativity they was telling them to go out there and do to the people. And my thing was, why ain't you say nothing then? Like you waited till now when you had something to gain from it. You didn't say nothing then when you could have saved people life and freedom and safety. And so it's one of the things where it was like, see, I tried to like you. I tried to, just say, you can't have this hate mentality. See, that's part of the poor that you got to take out of the 16th degree. Is this mentality, you ain't doing no crime. You don't have to worry about the police. So I try to think that it's just me. I'm not liking them, man, because it's police, and, but I never liked that nigga, and I don't like him none. I do have to say this though. Atif was right. Me and Atif was having, I've been having a discussion with different people, but really I was wrong. Mostly everybody else was right. We all agree that him being the black mayor and everything, right, that a lot of the problems with the city, right, would come to their full manifestation on his watch. And whatever they was trying to hold together, let's let the bottom fall out and blame this guy. Operation Friday Negro. But I was like, he had a lot of goodwill. So that was constantly being my question though, right? Is how long is the goodwill gonna last? You know what I'm saying? Meaning, like for instance, he already ran on that he was gonna be cleaning up the city, dealing with the homeless people, the mentally disturbed people, the the crime wave, the shootings, all of that. He ran on that that's what he was going to do. That was his, his platform. Tough on crime. He kind of ran on the Giuliani stuff. It's just that, the crime is not as pronounced as with Giuliani. But I was wondering, how long before the media turns on? Because see, New York, the media is like that. I don't give a fuck what it is. You could be playing sports. You could be a politician. If you come here and start fucking up, the media is going to get at you. So I was wondering how long, like, I was thinking like it's probably going to be like a year and a half, where it's like, okay, if he don't start cleaning up, maybe not a year and a half. I was thinking 6 months or a year. That's like, okay, if it's still homeless people walking around, pushing people in tracks, in 6 months, they're gonna start letting that. But it turns out they ain't even let them get in office. And they already talking about protesting them. So shout out to everybody else. They was right. I was wrong. But you gotta think I had a good run this year. It's November, right? Now it's with P. Foster. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. What is that? You talking about Eric Adams? Yeah, good intention. But yeah, I'm just saying, I got to November 12th before I was wrong about something. I guess that's about an average year. Might as well get that out the way for 2021. Still got a couple months. You never know. Could be a bad year. I could be wrong again by the end of the year. You never know. I mean, I doubt it, but it could happen. Yeah, you know something too. You know how like somebody call you or they text you, right? Somebody call you or they text you, and like they start talking and they tell you like, this is them speaking. They say, I was just with some people that you don't know, and we was talking bad about you. You know how you get that call? God's favorite said, nah, he's with the vaccine. He's with the stop and frisk, plain clothes, jump out boys, illegal chokeholds. I mean, that's his academy training. That's his academy training kicking in. Who knows? But that's always an interesting call, isn't it? I just noticed y'all not responding to that. Am I the only one? Am I the only one that receives this kind of call? What gives you people? Y'all don't get that kind of call. Well, how about this one then? I guess we don't have that in common. How about this one? When the person comes up and tells you the advice that you're out. See, because y'all know I rock with the millennials, and we that's how we talk, right? When somebody comes up and tells you the advice that your op sent for you through them, and they come up and say, yeah, your op said you should do this. Yeah, that'd be the best thing for you. What's going on, guys? Y'all don't, I thought we all had that in common. Well, now that I know y'all not my kind of people. Do you get any people in there? Let me put the link back up there. Open it up. I'm over here talking, man. Apparently, we don't I'm going off the rails, apparently, into topics that we don't have in common. I can't believe y'all don't get those kind of calls. I thought it was like an everyday thing. I tell you gotta embrace it. You gotta embrace it. You have to embrace it. Truth rules. What do we mean about the prequel? But 2020 was the movie. The jury's still out. We don't know whether it was an action movie, a thriller, suspense, horror, comedy. We haven't. Have we made a decision on that yet? We really don't know. Is it a documentary? But 2020 was the movie. And then, of course, 2021 was the sequel. 2020, that was, with the riots, the lockdowns, the police killings. 2021 The vaccine, of course, was the big story. You know, had a little riot up in Capitol Hill for the opening scene. You know, and so now 2022 is coming up, the prequel, where we're already starting to get news about a lot of the things that occurred at the origin of these movies. See, I'm just listening. I'm like, when you go to the movies and they tell you that another movie is coming, that's all I'm doing right now. I don't know the plot yet. Now you go to the movies and you see the preview, you come back and tell your peoples, like, yo, they making another Bad Boy, son. You see, I ain't all into that. I don't be watching them. You see how y'all know about those Marvel movies and everything when they coming up? These have been some epics. I will say that. God's favorite says the comedy. You know, they've been epic either way. You know, drama. You know, you got plot twists, side plot twists. You know, it's crazy. What happened to Malik Lowe? Still is trying to, he said, over time and space. Like, I don't know if there's a particular level. I don't know if it's perhaps in Malik Lowe, if you still out there, let's talk about it now. What you talking about? We talking about 2022 is the prequel. 2020 was the movie. And 2021 has been the sequel. And 2022, now we're going into the prequel. But all of these right here, this is definitely, this is like Rocky. This is like Rocky or what's that other movie that they went up to, like, Friday the 13th. This is one of the movies where it'd be like Part 25, son of COVID. Part 25. I don't know. Let's talk about it now. Are you ready? Listen, let's talk about it now. I'm gonna ask you the question. These movies, because we haven't been able to decide yet. Is this a drama, action movie, documentary, historical biopic? What genre would you say these movies have been? It's definitely been all moments. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely one of those movies where it make you laugh and make you cry. Not necessarily that I cried in the movie, because this is no longer a Hotep channel. So let me throw that a little more sweet. Said, how about all that above? Oh yeah, Malik Lowe. I got sidetracked. Malik Lowe, what you should look up is the precession of equinoxes. Procession, Procession of equinoxes. EQUINOXES. And maybe that'll, I don't know if that's what you're looking for, but it's the closest thing I could think of. See, because you got to remember, I'm not sure what you're talking about, right? But when you're talking about renewing the history, that's in the whole solar system. You know what I'm saying? Like when you say a year to every mile, right? That's based on the Earth rotating around the sun. You understand what I'm saying? When you deal with the 24 hours of the day, then you're only dealing with the, not even with that, you're still measuring by the sun. But like I said, look up the precession of equinoxes and, let me know if that helps you. Oh yeah, sci-fi, space odyssey, opera, black humor, action, thriller, mystery, foreign. Yeah, it's foreign. It's absolutely, man. It's absolutely all those things, man. You need subtitles. You need subtitles for some parts, for some scenes. You need subtitles for some scenes. P. Foster said they writing their history, we writing our history. Yeah, you make a good point there, is that this is one of those instances where you can really see that. You understand what I mean? Indeed, P. Foster rotating on his axis or revolving around the sun. Those are two important things to know about planet Earth. But yeah, P. Foster, when you say they write in history, we write our history, this is a good uh, example of, when you don't write your history, right, you would be written into other people's history. Other people will write you into their history. You know what I'm saying? Because, a lot of times when people, they have a prediction of their history, whatever it is, that history involves other people. Like that's just the nature of being here on the planet. You know what I'm saying? It's interactions with people, uh, you know, manifesting different energies. Indeed, Maligo. But just in terms of when just like with Yakub, right? When you look at the science of Yakub, uh, uh, he had a plan, right? But he couldn't live out his plan on his own. So he wrote 59,999 other motherfuckers into his plan. And see, clearly they ain't have no plan. So he wrote them into his plan. And see, that's what happened to you, in just in life in general. So you fall under the influence or into the wrong crowd because you don't know what your purpose and reason is for being in that place and what you're there to accomplish. The precession of the equinoxes. Uh, like I said, see if that, but it's definitely some place to start with the uh, research. Now, listen, when you go into this, right? First, I want you to knowledge the astronomy. See, when you get into the precession of the equinoxes, you know what I'm saying? The thing that's going to jump out to you is the astrology. But pay attention to the astronomy to see if it can help. I still keep wondering, procession. But yeah, though, I guess we open it up. I put the link in here already. Put it in there again. We open it up, man, for anybody. Any questions? Any questions? Anybody that want to come on the live stream? Man, Pete Foster. You want to bring up gravity at a time like this? Are you sure you don't mean relative density? Just a question. All right, what you say here? Your question is, did Yakub create the light-skinned breed? If not, who did? Who's the light-skinned breed? Who's the light-skinned breed? Man, see this. Why is everybody is that everybody that's new to the channel? I notice we always have to go down that road. Down that back is we don't have the Mythbusters. As long as the original Mythbuster is not here, we might can explore that. Now the preview was the end of 2019. November and December in 2019, that was the preview. Then you had 2020, the movie. 2021, the sequel. And now it's 2022, the prequel. Because they already got it mapped out. They already got, it's like the books. Like the movie that's based on books, and the books have already been written. See, now all they doing is filming it. See, that's like they already told you that, look, this ain't going away, man. You had to take a booster every year. I tell you, son, it's about to be like Rocky 25. Yeah, I gotta get on that. Yeah, I got, hold on. You don't know about these. It's just for me. It's just for me and it's just for me. It's just for me and true self. The movie Contagion, yeah, Contagion. Uh, apparently that was like they already made this movie. Now they make like a remake. Now it's Christmas special. I don't know. But when you say light skin breed, let's talk about it. What's the light skin breed? You see True Self at the emojis. Nah. I ask questions for clarity. Your true self, is that what happened? I know the true self is glowing green. Your name is a green light now too. I gotta put it's gonna be what's the name? I'm gonna put a code. I'm gonna put a code for a discount too. Merchandise. But yeah, I'm just trying to see, who it is you're talking about by the light skin breed. P. Foster said it worked in reverse. You dealt with the outbreak back to the source. Yeah, and if you notice, that's what's happening now. Like I said, the story came out today that Trump was encouraging some kind of lying pertaining to it. Uh, the stories coming out about Fauci and him possibly having something to do, Fauci and him possibly having something to do with, at least, in concept, him having something to do with the origins of this. You know what I'm saying? So that's why to me, 2022 is shaping up. It's definitely I'm calling it the prequel. Where we about to find out where a lot of all this came from. From the different decisions that's been made. You know what I'm saying? Who decided this and who decided that and why. Oh, I know. Hold on now. I gotta. What is this? You gotta click that link, Knowledge. BC Realm says, screw all the fronts, the behind the scenes individuals is what's really what it is. Well, I mean, we've been discussing that for 2 years now. Who are the people behind the scenes? Oh, you saw white people. Did Yakub create white people? Well, yeah, that's I shout out to Knowledge Allah. We Knowledge Allah found the membership section as well. Welcome to that, the next level of Random Jewels. But so you say Yakub was a beast. See, there's always a fine line with that. You know what I'm saying? Yakub was an original black man and was the father of the devil. See, a lot of things that it comes down to is this, right? Are we religious or are we scientists? You know what I'm saying? And if we religious, then we believe in Elijah Muhammad, right? But if we scientists, then we examine. You understand what I'm saying? And we examine regardless to what the source is. You know, everything and everybody is subject to be shown and proven. H5 5,000. You know, everything in everybody is subject to be shown and proven. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, when we go to show and prove, you know, we got to deal with the facts that, you know, we can universally provide wisdom and understanding on. All right, no doubt. Peace to you too. You know, the things that we can prove, right, is not, you can only prove the history of Yaqub through Elijah Muhammad. But you can prove the science of Yaqub through universal wisdom and understanding. You see, everything about the selection process. Like, see, for instance, you know, when you deal with evolution, right, you got something called natural selection, right? Where, you know, because of some characteristic, an animal is more likely to survive, right, and pass on its genes, and therefore those genes be selected to, you know, propagate naturally. You know, in that degree, what you see is a unnatural selection, where the reason that some babies survive and then pass on their characteristics is because of the nurses and the cremators. Unnatural selection. So we can prove the science of the black germ and the brown germ. We can prove the science, right, of, you know, it taking generations upon generations for these changes to come to that permanent degree. You see what I'm saying? Waju puts it in a very, this is a very short but sweet way to put it. That all the laws in that degree were enforced. Now, I don't know where Yaqub was buried at. And we see some historical references to individuals that coincide with Yaku. So, all those laws being enforced, we can't prove that they was enforced by an individual by that name. But the reality is, with that degree, as well as with the entire 120, the parts that we see in that historic kind of context is that the science of those degrees is more useful. The science of those degrees is more useful than the history of those degrees. You got any other questions? Well, I'm about to take it downtown, probably see what's up with Atif and Knowledge Born. Yeah, I've been noticing in the last like couple months, keep being a whole bunch of people join the page, like subscribe to the page and then unsubscribe. I don't know what that's about. It could be something that YouTube is doing. I hate to accuse them of any wrongdoing. However, we put nothing past them. P. Foster said, what laws does one enforce within self? Well, I mean, that depends on who you are. that who you are makes a big difference in that one. Check like that in and see if See, KB is still in the pocket. I wonder if he's still with what's the brother's name? King Asiatic. His name is King Asiatic too. The brother that he's the firstborn. Is it Brazil where he's from? Oh man. Colombia, yeah, Medellin, Colombia. Uh King Asiatic, yeah. He's the firstborn brother out there. He's leading the way in the like that area has become a new region. I know he's like one of the leaders in that cipher. If I get a chance, I ain't sure when he says he's gonna be out here to like the 21st. If I get a chance, that might be one of the first things I put over in the membership section, where we're gonna have certain videos, certain members only videos. But that'll be a interesting, to build, see, how things is from that perspective. So what was the hardest degrees for you? And what are your top 5? The hardest degrees to do what with top 5 degrees? Well, definitely top degree is Nas degree in 1 to 10, without question. That is head and shoulders. Complete, man, complete. You come in at the end, man. I put the Bill of Destroy degree in 140 in there because of the layers of it. You know what I'm saying? The layers and the levels of it, and just in terms of understanding, when you able to see that degree clearly, you got a command. You got a command of you got a command of the supreme mathematics. You draw all that up. I see. Well, yeah, I guess that's it. In terms of memorizing, indeed, the born degree, I would say, is more difficult than the coaching degree. The coaching degree is difficult because it's like the first big one, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not all that big. To me, the born degree is more difficult because it's similar to the same thing. After he's devoted 35 to 50 years, after he's gone through this labor from 35 to 50 years, and I mean, that type of thing. But back to the favorites. So we got the Nas degree is the number one. Then we threw the Bill degree in there. I think I might have to go back with the knowledge degree and 1 to 40. Knowledge degree and 1 to 40. I think you could put that up there in the top 5. Yes, I don't really think of lessons. I don't really. You see, I guess you had to really, because that's where the best way for me to think of it is kind of, how I used it, kind of usefulness. I think we have to roll with the understand and build and destroy degree in 140. I think that's understand and build and destroy. I think that. So that's 4. That's 4, right? So knowledge, build, destroy, knowledge, agree again, understand, and build, destroy. I think I had to go. It's a toss up right now in my mind. I'm thinking knowledge at a cipher degree in 140 or knowledge understanding degree in 140. I think I'm going to roll this time. You know, when you make these lists sometimes, come on, different. I think I would have to roll with the 13th degree in 140. 13th degree in 140, I think rounds out my top 5 that that rounds out the top 5 what I'm seeing right now. You know, those degrees, you gotta draw those up. You know, in there, the 10th degree in 114 series. It's not, that's not one. The 10th degree in 114 is another degree that it says the same thing in similar ways, but you got to catch it. All right, 410.8. Yeah, those I would say is so. The knowledge degree is definitely my favorite degree of all time. Then we had the other 4 that rounded out the top. Ability to destroy degree in 140. Knowledge degree in 140. Understandability degree in 140. And the 13th degree. That's I wonder if that means anything. Because you had one from the 1 to 10. You had one from the 1 to 10, and all the rest in the 1 to 40. But I considered some other degrees. Then they wanted to go back home but could not swim 9,000 miles. The understanding wisdom stuck out to me. What is the area in square miles of the planet Earth? That jumped out. The 114 is, I'm not really in there too tough. The guy degree in 114, that's decent. But yeah, that's 114. It's like what I use the 114 a lot is to show, because it's a lot of history in it. You know what I'm saying? To show the historical references, to different things. That coincide with those degrees. See, the 140 is more scientific. It's high science. Yeah, 114 is history and religion. You know what I'm saying? 136 is American history. You know what I'm saying? The 114 is world history and religion. 136 is American history and religion. You know what I'm saying? 1 and 10, introduction. see all kinds of things in there. People say, once you, looking at it through the lens of supreme mathematics, otherwise you just read the paper. Well, good question. I mean, it's interesting. I mean, I use all the degrees, for what I find it best to use it for at the time. You know what I'm saying? It's at this point, I've been doing it so long. But just like I said, with the understanding build degree in the 1 to 40, or the understanding wisdom degree, right, in the 1 to 36 that I was saying, those are degrees that, I like to deal with, but you're not the average person if you're not really a builder like that, right? You don't deal with those degrees during the course of the month. See, like you deal with 1 to 31, or 1 to 30 every month. Now, the problem with that. You see, people may say that I'm nitpicking here, but if you notice, right, like I said, we always go up to 31. See, don't get frozen at 32. See, because, does anybody care to hazard a guess why it's best not to get frozen at 32? '22nd degree in the 1 to 36 and the 1 to 40 is the favorite combo. No, I don't think, combos, I think you probably got to go with the 10th degree in the 1 to 40 and the 37th degree in the 1 to 40. I mean, you always got, of course, the power degrees in the 1 to 10 and the 1 to 40. I came in complete. I came in at the end, man. We just about to wind it down. But yeah, definitely, the important thing about you not getting frozen, right? Why those last 9 degrees, right? From 32 to 40. That's knowledge to born, first of all. We can see that clearly, right? But at the same time, remember, it's the 40th degree, right? When you get the peace and happiness. So you remember, all the other degrees expired, right? They don't go all the way up to 31. Only the one at 36, right? And then the one at 40 go up to 31, right? Now, where that leave you at? Where that leave you at? To make devil, what must one first do? Then what happened? So see, if you don't really deal, right, with all the way up to 40, where it says that you get your what? Reward, which is peace and happiness, but you got to deal with all the keys. So if you're not dealing with 32 to 40, you've only dealt with the problems. See, up to 31, to make devil, what must one first do? Yeah, we know all about that. See, that's what we do. I'm just talking about people in general. We're very good at enumerating all the problems and elaborating on them greatly, right? But not so much when it comes to dealing with the solutions. See, now when you get to the point of, okay, how we gotta take the devil off the planet. See, what's the understanding? What's the understanding on that? See, if I ask you for the understanding on any degree, if I ask you for the understanding on the God degree in the 114, right, which is dealing with how we got over here, right? Everybody can elaborate. You can tell me the tribes, you can tell me all kinds of shit. You see, if I say, how you take the devil off the planet, now everybody, oh yeah, I was just gonna ask you. All right, Shaquem is it's license renewal season. Got mad license to renew before the year expires, trying to get these scholarships as well. You saying you got to renew your license? I know Shaquem is in the construction, building type of sciences, welding, plumbing, all those types of things. You know what I mean? But yeah, though, that's why a lot of people, a lot of people even in terms of the knowledge, you know what I'm saying? They haven't really reached the providing solution stage, right? They haven't reached the providing solution stage because they haven't analyzed those degrees. See, all those degrees that it's like, yeah, those is well worn. See, the degrees before, from 1 to 31, see, you can show and prove that with the stuff Martin and Malcolm was talking. You can show and prove that with the stuff Frederick Douglass was talking. You see, when it gets to, tell us the exact date of expiration of double civilization, see, people don't got no answers. Now you're talking about grace period and shit. See, everything else was because you could show and prove it. You could stand on that square and be, you know, not the said person of that ability, but the person. So, yeah, we get, I guess that's a little rant. People that's new to the channel, y'all might not know. From time to time, I go on some rants. But that wasn't bad. It wasn't, I get much worse than that. You know what I'm saying? At any rate, I just got a little text message. I got a text message from Elijah. They're about to pick me up in the mothership. They sending a baby plane down to get me right now. Which I'm talking about the 600 years to rule. I wonder about that because is it from the day they were made or from the day they started ruling? See, that is, that's in the degrees. See, in one degree, he say he's making people to last for 6,000 years. And in one degree, it said he making people to rule for 6,000 years. So yeah, that's in the fine print. At any rate, we're gonna sign off here from the G building. You know, everybody that made this far in the video, of course, do the each one, teach one, hit the like button. You know, of course, if you want to guarantee your safe passage in the hereafter on the mothership, hit the Cash App and put in the comments, mothership. In the meantime, in between time, we're gonna sign off here from the G building. Hopefully, we'll make it back on before the weekend is out. And I'm gonna say peace. Up, and away.